Now Reform UK's Andrew Rosendale is with me in the studio. Andrew, thank you.
Hi Emily, good morning.
Happy Sunday to you. You having a nice weekend?
Great, yes.
Fantastic.
Very warm in London again.
Fantastic stuff. Now, we've just been alerted to the fact that Rupert Lowe of Restore Britain might wish to work with Nigel Farage in the future.
Well, look, Rupert
Would you welcome him?
Rupert was elected as a Reform UK MP under Nigel's leadership. So clearly there's common ground on lots of issues. My concern is this: our country is heading into a very, very dark place, in my view, under a Labour government, which I think is doing huge damage to our country. The next election is going to be very difficult because you could find that Labour, Liberals, Greens and goodness knows who...
Well, there you go. This is GB News Originals. I'm Emily Carver. Please do give this video a like and subscribe to our channel for more content like this. And do leave a comment. Let me know what you think.
Who else form some kind of left-wing alliance? We do have to somehow bring the right of centre in British politics together. Now, what happens with Restore and with Rupert is a matter for Rupert to talk to Nigel about. What I would say to him and to people across the country is that we need a change of government next time, and another left-wing government. Goodness knows what's going to happen to our country if we don't rescue Britain from this direction we're heading in at the moment. So any hope that people can come together and vote for a new government that can save Britain from this mess, I'm all in favour of that. But I think it would be with Nigel Farage as our Prime Minister.
All right. Well, he says there are a few conditions on working together, at least from his side, Rupert Lowe's side. He says ending mass immigration is not enough. It must be reversed. Every illegal migrant must be deported. He says the parties must agree to restore Britain's demographic security, suggesting that white Brits will become a minority. He goes on to talk about the Islamification of Britain, talking about rape gangs and how the recommendations from his own inquiry must be implemented and so on. So these are his demands. How do those sound to you?
Well, look, a lot of what he said, I watched his little piece, his video that he put out. Now, a lot of what he says will resonate with Reform voters and with British people. We are absolutely at the end of our tether with the mass immigration that's come to our country, which nobody voted for, both legal, which is obviously concerning everybody, and illegal, both. Both have had a detrimental impact. He talks about the Christian heritage of this country. Well, I do as well, and I worry that our Christian heritage, the foundations of this country, are being watered down and undermined. Our culture, our heritage, our way of life, our traditions, our customs are being sidelined.
Do you think there's been an Islamification, though?
I think
he certainly does.
I think that there has been an attempt, and there is an attempt by some religions and certain sections of the Islamic community that want to impose their ways on this country. That is unacceptable. Sharia law is unacceptable. Some of the things that happens in that religion is not the British way. So if you come to Britain, you need to respect and uphold the British traditions, British laws and our way of life. If you're not prepared to do that, I don't think they should be in this country.
I mean,
a lot of what Rupert's saying is correct, but we need to bring things together to get this government out to actually do anything. At the moment, if you have a divided right, all the benefit will go to Labour and the left-wing parties.
OK, well, let's move on to Ceuta, the Spanish enclave in North Africa. Huge numbers of people. I mean, the footage is extraordinary of those 60,000-odd men sort of just stampeding into the...
British political manoeuvrings are taking a striking new turn as the right of centre fractures and reforms under escalating parliamentary pressures. Welcome to Britain Underneath, where we peel back the polished layers of Westminster to reveal the raw power plays driving our nation. Before we examine the latest public rhetoric, take a moment to subscribe to Britain Underneath and hit that notification bell. Your continued support keeps this channel independent, grounded, and focused on delivering mature political analysis. Let us dive directly into the unfolding developments surrounding Andrew Rosendale and the wider battle for the nation's political identity.
Well, surprise move this morning, wasn't it? Because Restore Britain's Rupert Lowe offered Reform UK an olive branch, or what some people would call an olive branch, to work together to build a future patriotic government.
That is why today I'm reaching out to put personalities and our past disagreements aside for the good of the country.
Well, Mr Lowe said he would only agree to a pact if Nigel Farage agreed to 5 policies, including mass deportations, a ban on the burqa and a referendum on the death penalty. He also said that future, I think, current Tory party ministers or former ministers would not be allowed to serve in a future government. Reform's Andrew Rosendale spoke to GB News earlier today.
Rupert was elected as a Reform UK MP under Nigel's leadership, so clearly there's common ground on lots of issues.
Well, Nigel Farage has responded tonight. He said this: "To deliver change, I understand Reform UK will need the support of people from other parties, as well as millions who have never voted before. That is a broad coalition I am building." So, should Reform be more open to uniting the right and accepting, perhaps, Restore's offer? Well, I'm now joined by commentator and YouTube sensation Bruce.
Andrew Rosendale, the veteran Member of Parliament for Romford, has once again positioned himself at the heart of ideological debate. Following his high-profile departure from the Conservative benches to join Reform UK, Rosendale recently appeared in the media to address an overture from Rupert Lowe, the leader of Restore Britain. Lowe, a former colleague who was previously suspended from Reform before founding his own political venture, publicly extended a proposal to work alongside Nigel Farage. This invitation highlights the ongoing tension on the right of British politics as figures attempt to navigate a shifting electoral landscape. Rosendale's response to this potential cooperation was notably measured yet telling. While acknowledging that much of Lowe's commentary surrounding immigration control, national identity and cultural heritage reflects genuine concerns held by many British citizens, Rosendale emphasised a pragmatic priority: the unification of right-of-centre voters. He cautioned against a divided opposition, noting that fragmented movements ultimately benefit left-wing coalitions and maintain the political status quo. For those analysing Westminster, Rosendale's comments underscore a delicate balancing act, validating traditionalist concerns while attempting to maintain structural party discipline under Farage's leadership.
Unfiltered, and another sensation, political commentator Lee Harris. Good evening, gentlemen. It's a pleasure to have you both on at the same time. Look, Bruce, I'll start with you. What do you think of this offer from Rupert Lowe to Nigel Farage, or from Restore Britain to Reform UK?
I think Alex and I made my points very clear on social media earlier today that it felt to me a little bit like very closely after the Manchester election, they probably didn't perform quite as well as they wanted to, picking up, 46,000 votes out of a potential 2.1 million, which is another conversation for another day because the vote count or the people that turned out was terrible. But I do think after Makerfield, after the Manchester by-election and possibly other elections that have taken place, they've kind of realised that they're not the political force social media made them to be, and that they might be struggling and they need to form some sort of coalition to effectively what Lowe said today, unite the right, which they didn't seem too interested in for the past sort of 6 to 8 months. So I did find it a little bit odd today, to be perfectly honest. And it seemed like a list of demands more than we need to unite under one banner.
Yeah, so you're a little bit suspicious of it, if I'm right in saying that, Bruce. Now, Lee, you think there's a good chance that we can unite the right. Do you think that there should be some negotiation between the two parties?
Well, I think, to start with, I think what Rupert did today was actually quite a good move. You're absolutely right to be suspicious of it. I don't disagree with anything that Bruce has just said. But I think what's happened is what we've seen is we're having a slightly different conversation that we had 24 hours ago. And what I've seen in, comments on X and people responding to Nigel's response is all of a sudden we've got Restore voters talking about doing a deal or working with Reform to unite the right, and that has changed the tone of the debate. Now, it doesn't really matter to me what Rupert's intentions were, and I'm perfectly sure there's some clever politics behind it in his mind as well, but I also think it shows a little bit of weakness to Rupert Lowe as well. But what he's doing, I think, is he's changed the debate, and I was quite shocked, I have to admit, because Like Bruce just said, it wasn't that long ago that Rupert Lowe was saying that Nigel Farage could never be Prime Minister. And now we've got an about turn. Now, I'm very happy with that. I'm a person that likes to kind of straddle both sides a little bit. Now, I believe reform is probably the best vehicle that we have to win the next election. But I also understand that you have to take the political landscape as we see it. Now, the political landscape as we see it includes Restore, whether we like it or not. And let's just say Nigel would come out today with a harsh rejection to say, you know, this is utterly ludicrous, insulted Restore voters. He could have handled this a lot worse than he did. I was actually pleasantly surprised with Nigel Farage's response. I've seen some people say it's a bit weak and it's a bit, but I think it kind of needed to be, because what I didn't want to see above all else was Nigel to come out of the blocks, insult Restore voters, insult this potential public olive branch, but he's dealt with it, I think, with an element of restraint and an element of respect, which is what I like to see.
To stay properly informed as these political realignment efforts continue to unfold, please subscribe to the channel. Supporting Britain Underneath helps ensure we can keep delivering calm, rigorous, and straightforward reports on the decisions shaping our governance. Take a breath, stay grounded, and let us examine the specific issues raised in Rosindell's report. Beyond party dynamics, the conversation turned to international border management and civil policies. Referencing recent events in the Spanish territory of Ceuta, Rosindell pointed to the swift enforcement actions taken by foreign authorities as a stark contrast to Britain's ongoing struggles with unauthorised channel crossings. He argued that successive administrations have failed to establish firm deterrents, leading to mounting frustration among local communities over housing and public resource allocations. Furthermore, Rosindell addressed debates around social care funding, firmly rejecting proposed estate contributions or additional taxation schemes on grieving families. Instead, he advocated for structured, long-term national planning, suggesting early life contribution systems to secure long-term care without placing sudden financial burdens on households. Finally, when questioned on public rhetoric and law enforcement standards, Rosindell highlighted concerns over unequal police responses, arguing that legal enforcement must remain strictly consistent across all political perspectives to preserve public trust. The broader implications of these commentary reports point to a crucial juncture in British governance. As traditional party alignments experience continued strain, the dialogue between established figures like Rosindell and emerging political factions will dictate how policy priorities are framed in the coming months. Whether through reform of public services or stricter border management, the core debate remains focused on the fundamental direction of the country. Thank you for watching this report on Britain Underneath. Take a breath, stay informed, and consider subscribing to ensure you never miss our deep dives into the shifting dynamics of UK politics. Return to Britain Underneath for our next analysis as we continue to track the issues defining our nation's future.